Turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it on again. Oh. I'll tell you a story about a wormhole who tried to be good and cried boo-hoo. People were killing, and people getting dead. And wormhole is gonna find out who's behind it. And then there is Glen, cute as can be, cute little dimples. And he likes to see. And he owns a hotel that all want to be. And we offer services. And like no people have services. We have a safe. Well, you can bring the royalty and not lose your crown. And yes, they came from near and far, kings and the queens, and the Brooklyn Bazaar. Isn't that beautiful? Nice. I got a whole bunch of them. Yeah. Let me show you what I got. What's this store? Look at that. Look at that. Look at these. Beautiful. I'm going to have some of these today. I'll have one. I'm going to. I have purchased a lot of these. 120 bags here. You can see. I got them on sale for a wee. And I put food in it to make them last longer. There we go. Now, I just need a date. An HP. It's okay if you're a lady. Perhaps you like this. Be super speedy. Just don't bring any STDs. But who's gonna bring an STD? Well, I'm the only one you can see. What am I gonna get? Burning pea. And what am I gonna get? HIV. It's not the first time I remember. HIV they used once before. It didn't exist. Timber! It didn't exist. They're quarantined. All my people, as many as they could find. They said we were contagious and infectious, a disease like no other kind. And maybe that's true for a little bit. And then I got beat and thrown away by surgeons who were quite professional. They were quite certain I would not be okay. But they missed the dumpster. But that's okay. Some good policemen came along and made it okay. And inside the dumpster, I would stay for a very long time. Hey, hey, hey. Then I was found by accident. The surgeons. Oh! Oh! They were in trouble. Well, he was okay when he left here. This is not what the blood all around me say. But I'm okay. I got some bruises. I'm not dead like I'm supposed to be. Science had no explanation. Hey, I'm a wormhole. That's special for me. But they put me aside in a little room. And they started a big experiment to try to discover what had happened. Where had my injuries gone and went? And because that was me and not me, and that's all, everyone, that's all, you know, that's really wonderful. I am me, I'm always me. And that gives me lots of, I don't know, tidbits. So, I got to sit with the investigators. I mean, where else am I supposed to go? I still needed a little care, so plus I had nowhere to go. And they worked and they worked to the dumpster. And tables of little things, labels and stuff. And samples and everything able. Oh, what a job ahead of this stuff. And I got to watch. And I know a little bit too. You know? I was a doctor, the first doctor. You have to say better things. So I watched. And I got bored. And I have to say, there's something they didn't do. Quite obvious. It's off by itself. And sample of it, they did not do. So I said, hey, why don't you take that? Looked kind of obvious to me. Because when I look hard at something, sometimes it looks back at me. That's the thing. Don't need a test. Look at the smile on his face. That's the thing. Pretty sure. Let's get this over today. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a little black kid. You're so stupid you don't know anything. That's not what we're looking at. That's not it. And they keep testing and testing, day after day after day. So I took some of the Laffy home and tested it. Hey, hey, hey. I know what had cured me, and I had found it. Ha ha ha. By myself without the idiots. And I go back to, I don't know. And so I keep pushing it upon them, and they keep getting mad. I keep pushing and pushing and pushing it out. Oh, the worst job that I ever had. And so, some people came who were very, very important. And no progress had they made. You know me. Oops! Oh my, I stole some of that horrible, horrible mold thing. The one that looks and laughs and smiles at you. This isn't such a adorable thing. Well, it was commotion. Yelling and screaming and And he's the problem, we're not getting anything done. Ah. And so, there's no more syphilis. There never was any AIDS. HIV was a hawk. And besides, cavemen are immune. What does it look like when a race of people of all different colors, live a happy life with, with the law of attraction? Imagine that. Living and loving someone who you're actually madly attracted to. I know. It doesn't happen anymore. Because, as you can see from the big campaign of the porn industry, the law of attraction doesn't exist. It's fantasy. Fantasy. Stay with your kind. Protect your race. Don't mess with other colors. But that's not the law of attraction. You're not attracted to yourself. You're attracted to others. So they go, we're going to protect ourselves. We're going to protect our race. We're going to breed, just interbreed between us. And what do you think? That gave way. That is how you destroy an entire planet of people. It's how you destroy every race by trying to keep yours in the steeple. The law of attraction is a law, not created but found. Found to be unbreakable, and what makes the world go round? Black men are supposed to be with white men only, and white men are supposed to be with black men only. Because blacks aren't attracted to other blacks. That is the simple law of attraction, and genetics say, that's fact. White people hate their own tone. They think that we're beautiful. They think that I'm beautiful. Hey. And they're not made in my image. You fucking idiots. Of course you don't look like me. Opposites attract. Of course you find me beautiful. Of course you don't like yourself. Duh, opposites attract. So why the fuck are you trying to preserve yourself? Only being with yourselves. You see how crazy that is? You see how crazy that is? So what happens when everybody follows the law of attraction? Well, uh, um, well, everything's great, but basically the black gene kind of is the more dominant one. So the last one standing, I guess you want to label him, is going to be black. Black in him. He's also going to have every other race. He's every. I am every race, all races, all races. I'm all races, and that's what I look like. All races. That's what I am. People go, I'm looking for white guys. Racist! Just tired of being with people not attracted to. White people aren't attracted to white people. So you mean you can't fuck, put on a good show. Watch a TV show. And the couple, I've seen this a lot. I've seen this a lot. Not the exact words I'm going to use, but, in very, very general, factually, this is what I see. Oh, honey, you stink. Go take a shower. We need to get together. Do some cutting. That's not what happens when you marry someone who you're in love with. See, the genome produces the human body. Everything the human body produces is designed to attract a mate, and it's also designed to keep offspring. Look, Gino likes to have something new too. Gino wants to go shopping all the time. Every Gino wants to go shopping. I got one of those. Gino looks at his own race. I got one of those. Yeah, I got one of those. Yeah. Looks at something. Whoa, whoa, look at those. I never think things like that. Look at that. I want some of those. How do you get these things, the cheap ones like that? How do you get that? How do you do that? Well, now with your own race. And that's, the further you are away genetically from someone, the more Gino is going to see, I want one of those too. But, Gino can't incorporate it unless Gino fucks it and produces an offspring. That's what Gino wants to do. Gino's just going shopping like everybody else. Doesn't want the same thing. I got one of those. Blonde hair? I got one of those. Strong chin? I got one of those. Look at that. Look at those eyes. Hair. How do you make your hair like that? Oh. That's what you're expecting. Because Gino wants to go shopping. I got some corn. You're not attracted to your own race. So stop pretending like you are. You know, every time it's been up to me, I have said, don't bring you back. Because it's not the first time you destroyed everything, and it's not the second. Lucky for you, you know, I take suggestions. And I allow Tommy to override me. Mainly because I can't stop him. So I have a vote. Oh, look what I got. Let me show you what I got. Look at this. Look at this. This is neat. Look at that. You've ever seen anything like this? Look at that. The mushrooms. I found at the store. Look at that. Look at these faces that you love. How many lovable faces? Aren't they? They're so cute. Wow. 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 So, that's really nice. That's really nice. I don't have that, you know, weird mushroom taste. I mean, I have mushroom taste, but, wow, it's like meat, like hamburger. Or is that cheeseburger? Like, apparently, whatever I want to taste like. Wow, nice. That's really nice. So, who can tell me where these diamonds, and how these diamonds came to be? Who can tell me what they were in before they were given to me? They were in something, and it was put inside our safe. A safe you cannot break into. Well, you know, not easily. That's what they say. And then there was a robbery. Or they tore everything up in a way. A terrible, terrible robbery. And the safe is open. As they say. Don't touch a thing, I'll be there. I'll be there right away. Came the police and the inspectors. Didn't believe a word that I say. There was lots of things that were weird. Lots of things that pointed to fake, a lie. The royalties they weren't supposed to have. That was what they had. So what? We're not missing anything. Deny, deny, deny. It was a big bag of diamonds. A value astronomical, they say. And And there's, remember, the black pearl. I don't know what it is. Man, it's very expensive, they say. And there is no crime. No crime here. Nice try, insurance say. You're not getting a dime. Because nothing was taken away. And then, not too far in the future, a murder like no other today. Gruesome and bloody and horrible. And looks like a wormhole, they say. And something even more peculiar, the thing that didn't exist, one of them is there on the body. I think we're going to keep this. And then there was another murder. Another murder, they say. More bloody than the first one. Not the white spot left on the wall. Wormhole has been here. Plain to see. Wormhole, he takes things away. All the dirty, nasty things. We're going to catch him today. Another murder that happened. Another murder again. Again. Oh. Around we got people watching 24 hours a day. We got no customers either. So how are people dying this way? Wormhole is up for trial. Wormhole is going away. Wormhole won't be coming back. The wormhole is murderer, they say. But I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything at all. I'm trying to find the people who did this horrible thing. And each one, the diamond. They think I took those two. Yeah, I had some things. I was dirty. I didn't do anything wrong. I just smelled them and I masturbate. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything dirty. I didn't do anything. So I didn't do anything wrong. And people just kept on dying. Dying. And each one a diamond on their body. What the insurance wouldn't pay. Wormhole got free. Vindicated. They did it. They say. They had to be in magnetic exchange and all sorts of fucked up shit, they say. The wormhole is wormhole. Everything you see is okay. The stars are all inside you. You throw me, you throw yourself away. Wormhole. Wormhole fine. Wormhole wash. Her all day. Wormhole said, let me have her. When we're done, she'll be gay. She just needs a family. Nothing else will help. A thing like that be murder. But then you really got help. Every single diamond here is a dead person. Before dead. She's creative. And she's dangerous. They made posters and t-shirts. Famous. We found the killer. Diamonds are forever. Oh, that's okay. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. These diamonds are all, they're like some sort of white diamond. And I wouldn't know, real from not real, but these things, I can see bacteria in my eyes, like you see it in a microscope. I can see that sometimes. The bacteria in my eye, I can actually see the bacteria in detail. And I can do the same to other things of importance. I don't know. Looking at these diamonds, blurry eyes, they make shapes. They wake up, and they make like a hologram, and they all become the same thing. You can see them very clearly, distinctly. The shapes are very distinctly. Words and letters, I haven't got there yet. And they become different things. They have stories. Apparently they have stories. You can see them in the shapes. They're incredible. But they're all together. They're all together. These diamonds are special. This isn't originally what they were on. These are murders by my sister. who is apparently, I don't know if she had drug problems. I don't know if she went to college. I gave her everything. You know, no one got a car. Everything's mine. Everything is mine. I'm the only member of the family. I guess I have a gang. Need more help looking after me. More the merrier, and we can help people. You know, there's some people that my dad knew with the feds, and he said, he talked to me. But Jay, no way. Don't you make yourself comfortable, little girl, because right here you're not going to stay. One of her hair, the smiles. Jay is a very dangerous member. She's always had mental problems. And she belongs in an institution. The family didn't help her. Yeah, I thought it did. My mother dies. Well, not my real mother. I have several mothers, several fathers. My mother dies. I can't get any information. I am occupied. When my mother dies, I'm quite occupied here in New York, and I was not able to go to Kansas. I was very busy being homeless and having my home at the edge gone. Actually, my home was gone. Technically, legally, my house was gone. This apartment, it was taken away from me. And I was homeless fighting for it. And the agency, the money that I had put aside for people like me, people with a disease that doesn't exist, would be taken care of. They might have to be taken care of. I'm pretty sure. May have some signs, but you know what? I was tested. They diagnosed me with I don't know however many people there were. I guess that I had HIV. All I remember was the number was so freaking high that surely I was mistaken, because that would require me to have sex with every gay person on the planet. And they wouldn't repeat the number. That's how it's always been. The doctor would say something important to me. I have a question about it, won't answer it. Don't worry about it. Dr. Weber, that's something. There's a man for you. All man, baby. He explained everything. He was so good. He is this Weber fellow. His doctor's license expired. He didn't have a chance to renew it. The circumstances, I believe the circumstances. I don't know why he wanted to tell me. Maybe I didn't know why. Because what happened to him happened to everybody. What happened to him happened to everybody. What happened to him happened to me. Well, I got occupied. I can't go to the funeral. That's my dad's too. My mom has some very specific instructions. In our yard in Topeka, Kansas, Well, first of all, let me tell you what happened to my house. I don't know. I don't know what happened to my house. I don't know. I literally don't know. I don't know if we own it or we don't own it. I own it or I don't own it. I don't know. A lot of money I have. Basically, I own the entire neighborhood and then some. Government, international relocation program. War criminals. The only war criminals are the heads of the war. Everyone else is just doing what they're told. And they're not criminals. They're just doing what any soldier here would do when they're told to do something by their. And you think something's going to happen so terrible a thing that the leader doesn't know. Then I won't and still don't believe it. These people need it some other thing. Prison, death was not. That's not what they deserve. Working for the country, doing what they're told. Like good soldiers. So, bought the houses and worked with the government. And I have shell companies. I understand it's not, if you really look, you can see it, but it's not something. I believe Lee did all played the shell game, and he's very good at it for some reason. I don't know. Me and you and a boy named Sue. That would be Llewellyn. Llewellyn is, it has two L's in it. Foils. Foiled again. Foiled again. Well, I'm foreign. Go ahead. 2 N's. That makes foreign. 4 N's. I'm foreign. Easy to see. Not from around these parts. What I don't understand. Well, what happened to the furniture in the house? Basically, everything in the house, first of all, it's the house of God. that put the big price tag on things. And, we bought nothing, really. The things that we have in a, baby, in a house, didn't need to be replaced. I had a tremendous amount of respect for the things that we have. That's all. I appreciate it. That's what I'm here for. I wanted to be here. I wanted to be born. Everything in our house is old prototypes. Very smart baby. And we have a ship. A little thing called the Enterprise. That's where that name comes from. Star Trek? Yeah, there's a Federation. It's not as big as the one on TV. But, I don't know. This was made when I was way small. It was taken again. they made, oh boy, they talk about international, talk about friends all around. All of the biggest, richest people, the kings and queens and emperors and things that got bound, they all got a piece of the diamond. They all got one fucking of these. Fuck you, you little rotten son of God. You're gonna die with nothing. The internet, it wasn't, they didn't build it. You guys have nothing to do. They wanted a way to move command of the government, and they wanted it to be a secret, and they wanted a way, so they gave them away. Give them a line to give them a line, give them a wireless line, a phone. So a phone line, a phone existed in a basement. I think maybe Berkeley, wherever it was. And there was a second one. The schools, the colleges did not know about the phone line. They did not know about this technology that would allow the government to move. So they have to and be in command. And if they, stay in command with the army, they know about it. But they also didn't put any security on the phone. They didn't put any security on the phone. So there's this phone in the basement of one of these colleges, and it's plugged in, and all you have to do is pick it up, and you are connected. And probably talks. Probably. But it's how the universe is how I am programmed. They had access, which they had forgotten about. To me, and that access was quite literally to my operating system. They have access to things that I don't have access to. It reflexes on things. That's a dangerous amount of stuff, because the universe is in here. Oh, when you go away, you get smaller and smaller. That's a fourth dimensional thing. You end up in here. You actually do get smaller and smaller. Prove it. Well, get back here. We got back. While Ninja Mom, without stealing, without doing something, another job or whatever, Ninja Mom, without, looking for, trying to recover my time. I want to bet something. I want to bet. I don't like vegetables. I really don't like vegetables. I'm not a vegetable. also don't like chunky peanut butter. 100% peanuts chunky. I don't like chunky peanut butter. Never have. Except for this stuff. Oh, this stuff is disgusting. Look at all the. You see all that? That is all oil. It is my goal, and I have not broken this since I got a hole to learn how to take care of black hole, like all you have are. I'm the only one who got one from the manufacturer, the alien manufacturer. The alien manufacturer who made God powers. Powers of God. Yeah. God powers. God is just black hole. Royalty nonetheless. Oil. Very, very royal. All black holes are royal. To be worshipped. So the only royalty, the only royalty that exists. And yes. Black holes. Black holes and wormholes have the exact same DNA. However, we operate quite differently. We have the exact same DNA. So that means that anyone would test to be my father would be my father. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't. Why have we done DNA tests? You know, I just imagine, with all this technology and everyone's worried about everything. A couple of things I'd like to know. I would like to know who's on the planet at all times. Why? I'm curious. Just curious. I certainly would. To everybody. Don't think that motherfucker. Honest people. Honest people. Not interested in that. Stuff. I would be interested though if your signal went. If your signal disappeared. Or shut up off planet. That I'd be interested in. And that would have saved everything. A lot of problems. Well, today's problem. Mind wife. Let's be better, honey. Be better. Get your, all those, be happy. Be happy. Don't hurt.
I'm the most valuable thing that existed. When I came here, when I decided that I had to be born in order to understand what had become wrong, I didn't start this world. I wasn't here for the beginning. It was already started. I was supposed to get to God. I was supposed to get the best God ever. God going to school like I was going to school. Like the best going to school was going to get to have the best God ever. Where home did it come? Yes. I don't know. I don't know the wormhole. There's a couple others. There's another kid, a woman. That's cool. The library only took short with the test. But I was the top of my class. Top of the class. And here, wait for God there. Wait for you for God. I got there first. And I waited. I waited. God never showed up. I waited till the end of time. I literally waited till the end of time. He never showed up. I'm the one who waited. They had built a stadium. And what's that? When people could look and laugh. Oh, I wait. Well, guess what? I can be trusted. Ha 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 ha. A wormhole is never, got to build stuff. That's God's way, We're not smart like that. So when God didn't show up, I got to do this world. That's a great honor. That's a great honor for a wormhole. I made a great world. And it started. I did things and then, I was crying. I had families I liked. Watched over, watched them grow up. Kids crying. looked really, really good. To make sure there was nothing else that could, harm me, because every class, every book, every chapter, and everything we studied, don't talk to the humans. Don't touch them. Don't let them. Don't go near them. Don't even let them know you exist. That's liberal school. Dangerous. I'll top of my class. But I don't know what was wrong with him. I've never seen anything like it. This kid, this little boy, the fantasies in his head. And he was young and screaming of all the things he was going to do to me when he finds God. Oh. This kid was a problem. He was a problem. And, there is a God. So, not per se, but, God's supposed to take care of me, especially getting old. And the original, my first God who sent me to whole school, no, I remember. I followed him around. I followed him around. You're gonna get rid of me. He was poor. Smelly. It's wormhole material. Nice nugget in the home. Couldn't get rid of me. It was really abusive. It was very, very abusive. Because he wanted to get rid of me. Yeah, then we settled in. We settled in. That was nice. And then, I don't know. I always help him with stuff. I don't know what he understood, but he seemed to be money. I figured out that money. This was one of the things, the big things. And so I made him some money. I made him some money. And of course, it came with the hookers. Not hookers, but girls. You go, ooh, money and girls. He had told me, like, he's talking to me. He didn't know I could understand. I could understand some things. If only I could just, money and girls. Just you. Did you do this? Ha! I did that. Even money and girls. I think he got the idea. Yeah, I did that. And maybe I shouldn't have told him that, because he could have stopped beating me. You could do this the whole time? How was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know? You think I like watching him suffer? I didn't know. you know, something happened along the way. You know, I just, you know, one of us forget. We're designed to forget. We forget things. I think we're designed that way. But also, built something. Built a weapon. It's not a weapon. It pulses. It pulses, and it kind of makes you forget stuff. Makes me forget stuff. Makes everybody forget stuff.
To make life better.
Make us happy. Something happened along the way. Used to be right on the road. The weapon exists. It exists. It's the real thing. Not really. It's not really a weapon, but you know, it's out there. Someone needs to put it down. But let me just make a note. Yeah, did you hear this squeaking out there? The car, like the brake squeaking? Yeah, that's a black hole saying, "Hold on, buddy. Put a brake on that." Most, I don't know. Black holes are a lot of things. I mean, they may be a lot of different. And when you get one, it will tell you. You know, it's one of the first thing it does. And your communication is kind of weird, but you understand what just happened, and it's be real quiet. And it's like an ear test. You hear that? That's me. You just it's such a ding. You know? That's cool. A black hole, a wormhole can be a black hole. A wormhole can be a black hole, but a black hole can't be a wormhole. Black hole can't be a wormhole. A wormhole can be a black hole. That's what makes me so special. I am reality. I am space, and time, and dimension. All those things. That's me. A black hole is just, a wormhole and a black hole will need or require more and more of what it is they are made of. They will always require more and more of what it is they are made of. So, be very careful. Be very careful. Should you decide to make a wormhole or a black hole? Because you have to know everything around them. The closer it is, the more they will require as they grow. because we're all the things. You know, I don't need to eat this, but if I was born here, I'm gonna need one nearby. I'm gonna need one all my life, just because it's part of my nutrition. Not that I need it or have to use it, but it's, if I don't have the things that I'm made of, I will be thirsty and hungry. I'll be thirsty and hungry for things I don't know what it is. I'll never be satisfied. If you know the circumstances of a black hole's birth, wormhole's birth, you may quite easily manipulate it all its life without being intended. I can be trusted. I understand responsibility. God couldn't find anybody to take care of me. God couldn't find a replacement. God couldn't find anyone that can trust him. He searched. There's no rock and turn. No one. So he spent most of his life. He spent most of his life looking for someone. Resumes stacked, going through them and making stack here and there. This one is no, not that one. These are maybes. Those are not at all. That was he just went on. That's all he did. Oh, let's get back to that one. Love you so much. The new God I did have to. I had to pee twice. And while I was waiting for my God, not one person will let me piss in their mouth. Not one person. Fucking black holes. Not one. I can't piss anywhere. I am, what do you call it? What the exact word is? I'm an infectious agent. I'm an infectious agent. I'm also nuclear. I exist in multiple dimensions for safety. And the difference between me and you is that you have your rods installed. But there is a rods, and we're talking nuclear rods. The rods that make the nuclear power plants, you guys, we have rods, places for rods, and you guys killing power plants and using their own, installing them. I made you guys. I made you. I didn't activate you. I made you. Activated too. You know, waiting for the first checkup. One was awake, and the other one was, just on. But, you guys inherently have a flaw. You hate yourself. And that's exactly perfect. You know, a DJ, when a DJ mixes his music, he doesn't actually have he can't. I understand. I tried. It's really difficult. Redesign the whole thing. Really, really easy. You can't make the records play at the same speed, the exact same speed, for very long, because he doesn't know which one is going to go forward or backwards, right? In a long time, he's going to start to shift. He's not going to know which one it is. Therefore, he purposely makes one faster or slower than the other, purposely, so he knows which one is moving off. You guys work the same way. You guys are, oh, yeah. Well, that's a good thing, because if you didn't have that, it would eventually, I think, you would come about. You would get there eventually, and with your abilities, that's pretty much that could be the end of everything. If you went there all by yourself, that could be the end of everything. It has been twice. Here you are. Yeah. You think beyond me. They've been training me. They've been helping me get the but there's I need to push a little bit out there. Somebody will take me on, I don't know. There's nothing there. It grows. Diamonds are forever. You won't be coming back. Make t-shirts. Make t-shirts. Right. It says to be retarded. If she's retarded, then there is a story regarding how she got that way. She got that way being gay. Trying to destroy someone's life. Why she acts stupid and she gets all the attention because people are trying to save her life. gay. Hold on. Gay. Huh. He doesn't really do so much. Living at home, you have your stuff, they laid out and do not touch, dangerous, etc. You know, clear areas. You know you don't go there. All right, good. You know, when people with learning disabilities, about this. Barely headphones like that, man. Only headphones. And you put on a cassette, and you learn everything on the cassette. How about that? You know, you may have a learning disorder, but it doesn't mean you can't learn. Yeah, I know. And it worked. It was good. It's good. I had, a few different, cassettes and stuff ready to go. I don't know if I don't think you actually hear it. Maybe the music or something goes on. Whatever. It's not talking. That really wasn't not work. But it was very good. I had buyers. Sort of were interested. It was going to sell. And and that was after my first AI experiment, where I made myself AI. Well, it wasn't, I didn't give no instructions. Well, the rules of chess. Only the rules. Only the rules. And all the data was verified. I got the minis of chess and stuff to allow my machine to enter the contest. That ends with the international winner, chess. It won the first game. It went to the semifinals. It went to the finals. That was a lot of press for me. So I had this great thing, right? To help a lot of people. And there was something else working on. And I stopped working on. I couldn't get the information. Nobody had the information, and that, is one of the things that was so far ahead that I was gonna have to wait for more discoveries to be understood. Go back to it. And that involves transferring the mind. The learning process takes a while. Takes a few months for it to, just start to, the information starts to be there for you. And it transferred. We have to erase the mind first. Oh, yes, that's what they were sent to do. And when I stopped it there because I couldn't get enough information on whether or not, I just couldn't not a specialist, whatever. I couldn't get any information, so it was in that section that you don't touch.
in my room. And I never got upstairs. And she goes, I can be smart too. She's walking out of my room. That's gay. I can be smart too. We didn't know. I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was likely to happen. She was just going to go away. There's really nothing there. You have to be great. I called everybody. I was on the phone calling everybody. I was sitting wait and watch. And watch her. And I lost my endorsements. I lost the product placement. I lost everything. Just wasn't the right time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The right time. So I said I was dead. You know? I meant it. Every waking moment. You know, trying to save her. Well, you know, she went to college, I think. Not sure about that. He's a liar, thief, and drug addict. He went to rehab. When she got out of school, that the school she wasn't going to, when me and my dad went down to check on her, when the weekend went down to check on her, surprise check, and she wasn't in the dorm she was supposed to be. She wasn't where she was supposed to be. I can hear people talking. I'm sure I can. No one likes her. She didn't live there. Eventually, she came in. You know, she called me. Hey, she came in and she came into the dorm room that we were in. And she goes, oh, well, you know, as expected. Let's go out. Let's go out somewhere. You know, eat and talk. Living out there, you can't stay here because this isn't my room. So she claims for her drug rehab that after college, some guys got up to her, came back. She partied with them, did some drugs with them for a few days, whatever, and it caused a problem. But I can tell you, because I've been a porn star. Being a porn star is like being a rock star, especially when you're at the very top, which I was. There was no porn star. There was no greater. I broke all the records. All the records over the break were broken. There's nothing anybody could do that could, thank you very much. They named the race of people after me. Another race of people, Latino. They named the race of people after me. And that was without God powers. That's just being me. Become human, I got split up into lots of different parts. Parts I'm trying to recognize. That's a lot of different parts. I'm more than one thing, more than one person, more than one. Still a wormhole. I think. For sure. I think. God, he's supposed to look after me. protect me. And the whole idea. God is the name of a position. It's the name of a position. It's not the name of something all powerful. God is the title of the proprietor, aka the janitor. You know, the guy cleans up after the elephants. That's God. I'm the elephant. God gets his power from me. And the whole idea is he's the honeypot. He's the honeypot. Because you guys can't be trusted. And you're predictable. You went after God. Our religion, nobody's religious. Unless your religion is still a God. God is the title of the proprietor, of that proprietor, who looks after you. And, you know, God didn't want me to know who he was, what he looks like, and he did a good job. That was eventually found, left for dead, I guess, empty. And they, I was recommissioned for what do you call it? A reenactment, more or less. Try to figure out what happened to Earth. I'm good for that. The universe. The universe. And, you know, I think I'm still in the universe when I was thrown away. I think this is the only one. And someone else ever. Well, the universe is over there. I don't know. They were you. You guys don't. If you destroy everything, completely everything, again, I'm going to go the same way again. But now that you're here, so I'm willing to do everything I can to help you. You guys don't lack the ability to. You guys don't lack the ability to be, responsible. Just that you know, you never had, you just never had an example. You don't have any logic. You never learned the reason of things. You didn't have to. And, after you killed people, if you killed everybody, to send me a message. Don't you come here. God, don't you and that little, worm yours, don't you come here to New York. Not Hell's Kitchen. We don't want you. You made it just fine. You could have sent the memo. I got the message. Great message. After you killed all the black men, after you killed the entire, you killed everybody. Opposite the tract and Hell's Kitchen. Well, that's just nice looking guys, great looking guys, a lot of gay people, a lot of gays, and they're all dirtier and smellier as shit. And opposite the fuck. They can get a black eye just like that. Just, smell them half a block away. Fine. But that wasn't good enough for you. No. Would it be easier if we just made a website? We'll just make dirty. What do they do? They made a the gay websites, right? I mean, a few websites. The top websites, which covered, the raunch and the things, and the purpose of the website was to lure black people to their death. They weren't actually sex sites. And the people who joined them were considering, they considered it to be like donating to the cause. Who didn't know about it? Who didn't know? I didn't know. I found out by the person who designed it. And I believe him. I don't know where anything in the house is. I don't know where anything is. Nothing. Nothing. Gay says. Gay just cares about the money. Gay just cares about the money. I don't know. I invented M&Ms. Me and she was like, hey, and we did it by hand. We did it the long way. Wasn't that more rewarding? So fun. It wasn't magic. It was, we made M&Ms hard. We sold the M&Ms. Me and Miss Martin. M&Ms. Miss Martin. Me and Miss Martin. Miss Martin, she always says, lucky me, Lockheed Martin. Because she owns Lockheed Martin. Lucky Martin. Lucky me. Lucky you. Lucky Martin. She owns Lucky Martin. She was also a ghost. Finding her name on the registry is not something that's be very easy to do. She assured me. I had lots of shares. I had lots of shares. Enough shares to Lockheed Martin and, King. Sold M&Ms, that's the thing. Then you think it doesn't exist. That didn't happen. But then, the black hole, she taught me how to make art, holographic art with this. You start with black ink, a special black ink, and you have the color come out of the ink. And we she basically made the drawing. I'm just, she helped tell me what to do and I don't remember how it worked, but I have the drawing. One of the things that came back. And it's like, I was thinking, we started with the black hole. We went to the store and you have special, black ink. And it's like you don't see that at all. You don't see any sign of anything black on there or anything that you could possibly cover it up. Like at all. But as I was working with it on the computer, trying different filters and just playing around with it, I wasn't looking for. I never expected to find the original ink spot, but I did. I just hit this one setting where the color was gone, everything was gone, but the ink spot. The ink spot that's just impossible to see with your own eyes. The ink spot. Everything else gone. Fantastic. It was also a picture of a crime scene. a picture of a crime scene before the crime scene happened. I didn't draw it. I did draw it. Her brother was murdered. Ooh. I was thinking, is he capable of this? The wormhole, is he capable of this? Yeah, I'm capable of it. Meet the world. I was a baby. Well, I slept in like a doggy basket. For a nap, I slept like a doggy basket on the floor. Yeah, it was big. But it was comfortable. It was fun. It was comfortable. And it was during the nap when they came into the home from another universe. The first universe that I had, you know, little kid. Well, when I was talking to him, you know, he was telling me his problems and stuff. I didn't understand his problems. You know, I didn't know what love was. Love. Movie theater. Video game. You know, he wasn't mad anymore. He was just like, oh, and he was telling me all this stuff that I didn't know. You know, it sounded nice. I wasn't lonely before. I was happy. Quite happy, to be honest. Content. Content. After speaking with that little monster, his life changed. You're never gonna believe it. No, they're not. So, while I was up there, you know, viewing the clouds, didn't do anything. I enjoy watching. And now, I'm just, you know, it's hard to describe. It's not really laying. I mean, you're never uncomfortable. You just, I don't know. You're sitting here, you're not like you're laying anything. And, you know, they went from helping people to people over. I'm not supposed to go down. I'm not supposed to go down. I'm supposed to be talking.
everyone. Yeah, you can throw in your chest. More or less. I picked some people that would like fun. Ding! Hey, well, guys. Oh, wormhole. You think, being a three-dimensional power, to make you, but they had problems. They weren't happy. They weren't very happy people. They weren't very happy guys at all. I watched them. I didn't get that. I didn't get that they were, desperate. I know they did crime and stuff. But, I don't know what that means really. The why. The heart of it. Yeah. The thing of needs. What's that like? It's good. Oh wow, it's good. That is good stuff. Oh. If you keep putting sugar in it, it just keeps turning back into delicious orange juice. Like magic. I did it like a month now. It's delicious. And no sugar. What do you need sugar? Can't put a couple of cups of sugar back in it, the water, and it turns back into delicious orange juice. It's crazy. Really delicious. Amazing. It's better than Crystal Light. Cold. Better than Crystal Light. Or vitamin water. Sugar. I didn't, I remove sugar from my diet. Couldn't over years. Basically, when I get into yogurt, I remove sugar from my diet. But then, I thought, I want some real sugar. I want some Kool-Aid with sugar. Sugar. So instead of buying the Crystal Light stuff, I started buying stuff that didn't require sugar. And I was just like, it's not hyper. My body's been without sugar for a long time. It's like, more sugar, please. More Ovaltine, please. More sugar. More sugar. Then I came up with that. The orange thing. You keep adding sugar. And it does keep turning like an orange juice. Without it, it's just like the flavorless water. And salt. Orange juice, yeah. It's amazing. What am I missing then? I'm missing Put it on top. Put it on top. Yeah, it's supposed to have butter oil on top. I've been working with this recipe for the last few days. And, you know, I've don't like vegetables. Let me, I didn't like vegetables. Not really. I didn't. You know, sometimes I would watch what my mother would cook. And, you know, I remember when I discovered she put onions and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm never going to eat that. She's like, I put it in everything. I'm like, really? She told me all the stuff she put onions in. I was like, I didn't know that. All the stuff I liked. Okay. And funny thing, that when my mother died, very weird. I got this craving for peppers. Peppers. My dad liked peppers too, but you know, I have to use all the colors. That's what makes it taste good. You know, I have to use the orange one, and the green one, and the red one, the yellow one. You get it all together. That's what makes it really taste good. You know, I started doing it with pasta, and it was just like, oh. You know, it's not often that I eat, and I can't eat without going Yeah, that's a rare thing. Oh, everybody's like it was like that, like it's like Frankenstein's monster. Oh, it's amazing, and it's really I love, you know, and I you know. Obviously, I'm thinking of another one. You know, I don't know why. I never liked it before. Peppers, never liked peppers. Never. Get yourself in. Now I can be smart too. I don't know. Anything in houses and get not keep from gay. When gay has control over everything. He has control of the whole family, all my accounts. I'm an ambassador. You know, I've been working. You know, working on my memories. Working on memories. The notary thing. You know, all the notary in New York goes into licenses. You know, I remember my notary training. I remember it quite well. Every second. You know, I got so high, I get tall. And I was the notary. I became the notary. The only notary. My seal is a multiple part seal with electronics that connect to the you know, the season clock. Time is important. Time is important. It's not what day you signed it. Oh, come on. It's exactly when you signed it. That's important. And only my seal provides that. And my trust doesn't expire.
Because I'm the notary. I'm trusted. Trust isn't something you buy for $35 and take it in a test. That doesn't make you trusted. It makes you an idiot. Trust is something that's given to you. Well, or you earn. But, both in my case. And when you're trusted, it is forever. My license doesn't expire. Son of God. That too. Notary. No one's security clearance can be above mine. Because I'm the notary. That's an important job. That's like the most important job. It's the most important job, as far as I'm concerned. Not something you can buy for $35. Trust. Paul, Sheasley said he was a notary. He told me he was a notary. I said, Paul, sorry, but you weren't legal. Like everybody else. Oh, yes, I'll take over. I am the notary, the only notary, the only recognized notary whose trust is everlasting. I'm also the ambassador of the United States. I am the official ambassador of the United States, and I have diplomatic immunity. I said, I remember. I said, what about the other? I mean, like this one. What about, I always see the ambassadors on TV doing stuff, which is why they're doing stuff on TV. And the answer was quite fast and clear. They are self-appointed, and they are not recognized officially by the United States. They pass the laws, whatever, they make themselves ambassadors or whatever, but they are not official ambassadors recognized by the United States, and they do not have diplomatic immunity. I do. So I says to my sister, I'm an only child. I says to my sister, Gay, where's your stuff? Everything, I made everything. Everything in the world comes from me. All the electronics, everything, I made it. Me. But everybody else gone, well, everything comes to me anyway. When you have a copyright, you make a video, you get copyright, or whatever. Put your copyright number on the video. Just put your copyright number on the video. That's not the hard thing to do. That has to come out right away. Right? Just put the copyright on the video. You don't know why the copyrights are on the video? Because they don't have copyrights. Porn industry doesn't have copyrights. Because you have to be real to get copyright. When I was born, the entire gay porn industry was all robots. The whole lot of them. Every single one. Robots. I didn't think I knew that. Working. You guys are talking. You guys are really talking. So, you were amazed because I could, long story short, I could see the extinction of my race just looking down the side of the bar. I could see the extinction of my race right there. There you guys. Not to extinguish a race, I guess I forget that way. I'm confused. yeah, you know, put a lot of put a lot of crazy stuff in you guys. A lot of crazy stuff. You guys are. You know, when I made you, I hadn't had sex. I mean, not that I remembered having sex. You know, that's long in and out. That, you know. You know, you know, did I get hard ons when I was? No, I didn't get hard ons. I didn't get hard ons. Saltpeter, hot water softener. You not get hard ons. I mean, you guys, you know, I don't. The idea of it, you know, well, you know, we need, you know, our extinction is cut down the road here. We need something. We need DNA pool. You know, and they can also be sex bots. You know, they can be to breed, and they can also be, you know, sex bots. Did I mention that they could be sex robots? I think we should get started right away. You gotta fuck that, man. I mean, just saying, you know, I don't know anything about sex. And, you know, people, you know, I'm like writing stuff down. And I'm like, what? You know, these guys, these government guys, you know, we don't home and make me like, or just like, you know, I don't remember all the things that that you guys was incorporated into you guys, but it was just some crazy stuff that I had never imagined. I was like, you want to do what? You know, I had to tell you, you want to do what? Are you sure? That don't sound right. Why would you want anybody to do that? You know, what do you think? You know, oh yeah, I have a great idea. A lot of that. All of that. You know, coming online is when you have to be, you know, you have to be cared for and loved, and you have to be with you all the time and reassure you constantly of you know, you are the most beautiful thing in existence. You know, you're not a toy, you're not a pet. You know, you were needed and you were loved. And that's what we showered down upon you. And we get rid of that what am I phase that all people go into. What am I? What am I here? Well, let's just get rid of that little number right away, right at the top. I didn't bring you online. You guys didn't get the love. I'm sorry. But, you know, time traveling robots, time traveling sex bots, made it to immaculately please the gods. Huh. Easily please the gods. God's fantasy. Then I found out. Let's go. That, you know, this, another call went through my um, my engine and my records. Multiple inventions, right? You know, he spent a lot of time looking around. It was really weird. And I'm laying down, and he's, you know, he's basically he's inside. I, I I can just tell by the look on his face. I said, this guy, he is really he's really serious about this. He's doing some reading. He's doing some examining. And I can tell by his, you know, his movements. He's being very careful. He's being very, very careful. And you know, when he was done, he told me things. He's pretty powerful. One, I couldn't have done what I was accused of doing. I'm sorry, what? Accused of what? What do you mean accused? What are you talking about? You know, I said I'm the last human. I'm 100% human. After he had examined me, you know, he said, you know, if you had lied, he said, everyone lies to me. He said, if you had lied to me, it would have killed you. Wow, scared you. If he said that, he said, I would have killed you if you lied. I'm the last one. Everyone else lied. Yes. Yeah, he said, he said that, you know, you know, basically, the engine and all that stuff were, you know, he said it was sealed. It was immaculately sealed. The seal had never been broken. My rods have my slots for rods. There's 2 slots for rods. You guys, you guys installed a few more and stuff. And you used up all the power. You know, you have all the power. When I came to New York, you know, originally came to New York, I thought I was looking at heroin addicts. But I was looking at robots without power. Almost like. Almost like. Without power. He said that I've never had He said, I couldn't have done what I was accused of doing because I didn't have the power. I brought my slots have never been used. Uh, the records, we have records. They're detailed records of us. How about that? He said they're unchangeable, and you have not only have you could have done what you accused of, something about flying and whatever, because you didn't have the power. Not only did you not have the power, you've never had the power. You've never had the power at any time, nor and and this was one that hurt. Nor have you been near it. You've never been near a robot power. Something like that. I know Paul's really powerful because I didn't cry for the rest of for days on end. I was just just a matter of virgin. I mean, and all the things that I've been accused of, and punished for. No one ever cared to check to see if I was capable of it. Never had power. All these things are output. Never had it. Didn't have it. Nor had it ever been within the range of someone who did, that it could be detected. Well, what about the guys I have sex with? They'd have to be completely out of power. Sorry. They had the power removed before it did. I'm the Virgin Atlantic. I didn't have a birthday. I didn't have a birthday. I didn't have a birthday for a couple of years. Gay was the first birthday party that I had ever known about, I guess. Or you had home that. What's the? Gay had a birthday party, and so I guess Gay came. I guess I was around too. She had a birthday party, and I never had a birthday party. I've never had a birthday. No, when I was in sport. So I have this thing written, "Happy birthday," video. The wormholes, you know, they have birthdays often. They hit the, you know, black holes. They have to uh, kill themselves, die, and grab another body. I mean, technically, you know, they store their memories, you know, and you know, my intestines, my lower intestine is a great place to do it, you know, because smell is memory. Bing. So like, they can change out, get rid of the body, the new body, have the memories, off they go. You know, they do it rather, they do it rather quickly. They don't carry a lot of, didn't carry a lot of extra energy. Matter of fact, they never carried extra energy. So making it back to me is, you know, it's they don't exactly have to, they don't exactly have to hit the target. Okay, what happens is they come in, and basically I guess at light speed or whatever, and they you know they get close, and then their friends inside go out and guide them in. They go out and they guide them in. Sounds to me like a tractor beam, but that's how it works. You don't actually have to. You get close and then they're guided in. So, you know, I don't actually, you know, I like to take pictures of, you know, of my little babies. I like to take pictures. I think they're cute. I think they're cute. You know, I take real good pictures. I didn't, I didn't know that black holes, you know, wormholes came from poop. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You know, when I started taking pictures, you know, I actually came up with scat books. Not Facebook, scat books. It was very popular. That's what I think that's my first app. It was a scat book, and people it got very popular. People would take pictures of their poop and everything, and it was actually considered to be like the first medical journal. You know, because you know you guys learn a lot about yourselves. You know, we learned, you know, and we found things and cured things that you know that well, poop is fascinating. Scat book. Zuckerman. Yeah. I don't know what kind of scat book. No wonder. There's no wonder I came up with shit show. It's how. Yeah. So, you know, I take really good pictures. When I started taking pictures, I started getting some rather angry comments. In the heavens. Very angry comments. Kind of loud angry comments. From the head. I don't know what you call it. Their leaders. I mean, you know, their holy thing. The leaders. You know, very uh, there's a lot of anger from their leaders. A lot of anger. This is not what we are. Come again? You know, very angry. take these pictures down? I think beautiful pictures. I think it's fascinating. Great detail. And I'm good. The kids love it. Yeah, they love it. They're all the rave. They love it. They love it. They like seeing pictures of themselves, and and they're really good pictures, and everybody loves it except for the leaders, and they're like, "Take it down. That is not where we come from." They were getting somewhere. No, I didn't. But when you fuck with the army, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Usually don't. But it wasn't my intent to suggest that's where they came from. I didn't. I know the religion, but apparently that's where it comes from. That's where they come from. They were ashamed of what they were. They were absolutely ashamed, leaders. And when I took pictures of them, they didn't know that I didn't know. And it touched home in a very painful way. And after a while, not too long, wasn't right away. They grew to say, these are beautiful pictures. These are really beautiful pictures. And with everybody, cats out of the bag. Everybody loves it. They love the pictures. They love seeing their friends. They love seeing themselves. I don't know when everybody was born. Where were you born? I don't know. I just don't know when she was. Happy birthday.